Hey parents, it's Matt Bulkley. If you've ever handed your 13-year-old a smartphone and immediately felt a pit in your stomach, if you've opened an incognito tab and seen things that made you want to throw the phone into the neighbor's pool, or if you're lying awake at 2 a.m. wondering, is my kid okay? This episode is for you. I've been a therapist for the past 25 years, and I've sat with hundreds of teens and parents in the exact moment everything else feels like it's falling apart. And here's what I know. The average age of first pornography exposure in 2025 is now 10 or 11 years old. And that's finding from a 2023 BARC Technologies report and also 2024 Common Sense Media study. And once that dopamine superhighway lights up in a still developing brain, it can become part of the path of least resistance for stress, boredom, loneliness, curiosity. But here's the hope that I cling to in every session. The single strongest predictor of whether a teen will develop compulsive porn use is not how early they were exposed or how graphic it was. It's the quality of the relationship that they have with a trusted adult and the culture of technology in their home. And that's from a meta-analysis study from the Journal of Adolescent Health in 2023. Today, parents, I'm walking you through the 5 most common parenting mistakes. And I see these every single week that accidentally pour gasoline on this fire, and the exact grace-filled, research-backed fixes that actually move the needle. So let's dive into this. Mistake number 1 is having no written explicit rules, or having rules that exist only in your head and change depending on how tired you are that day. I had a mom named Sarah crying in my office here a few months ago, saying, well, I told him no phones in his room and he knows the rule, but turns out that rule really only lived in her head. He thought no phones in the room meant, well, don't get caught with the phone in the room. A study in 2024 a study in pediatrics, it followed 1,500 teens, the ones with clear written, collaboratively created tech rules had 68% lower rates of compulsive porn use, even when they had been exposed early. So the fix, it's this: create a simple 1-page, call it a family tech covenant. And it would cover things like a charging station in the kitchen starting at 9 a.m. No exceptions. Secondly, a max of 2 hours of recreational screen time on school nights for YouTubing or gaming. 3 would be tech-free zones like dinner table, bedrooms after 9 o'clock, longer car rides. And then 4, how to earn later bedtimes or more gaming time as they show responsibility, and include consequences that are logical and sure, such as loss of tech or phone privileges for 24 hours. And do it over pizza or ice cream. Let them negotiate a couple points of it. One family that I work with has used a kind of like a covenant, an ice cream night every few months, where they would read the agreement out loud, high-five the wins, tweak what was not working, and eat ice cream, and zero drama because the teen co-owned the rules. So next mistake number 2, and this is the one that breaks my heart the most, which is never bringing up pornography at all because it feels too awkward. When we stay silent, shame moves in, and teens think, well, if my parents ever found this, they would disown me. So they hide it, they delete histories, they use incognito mode, and they spiral alone. In 2024, an American Psychological Association research study found teens who have even one non-shaming, proactive conversation with a parent about pornography are 60 to 70% less likely to develop daily or compulsive use. So how to actually do it without dying of embarrassment? Number 1, start young. Start at age 9 or 10 with the weird stuff talk. And maybe it's something like, Hey, buddy, sometimes when people are online, adult pictures or videos pop up by accident. If that ever happens, you can tell me no matter what. I won't be mad. I just want to help you handle it. So second, a weekly short check-in, a 20-second check-in. Honestly, it probably takes longer to describe it than to do it. Maybe while driving or making dinner, where you as a parent would casually ask, anything weird or confusing pop up online this week? And that's it. If the answer is no 52 weeks in a row, you've still built the bridge. And then three, share maybe just a quick story from your own childhood to normalize it. Something like, well, when I was 14, a friend showed me a magazine in his garage. It was pornography. It made me feel weird. And for weeks, I never told anyone. And, I wish that I had. So, real story here. Client, 15-year-old, I'll call him Jackson. I had been viewing porn for about a year. And one night, his mom used my exact weird stuff script. And 3 days later, he ended up leaving a note in her bedroom that said, "It happened. Can we talk?" And honestly, that note saved his life. He's 19, he's in college, and he still texts his mom memes. And that's what an open conversation does. All right, moving on. Mistake number 3, installing an app like Covenant Eyes or Custodio, and then thinking, well, I'm done. I'm parent of the year. Filters are seatbelts. They're wonderful, but they don't teach you how to drive. A 2023 study in cyber psychology, behavior, and social networking found teens who only had external filters actually binged harder when they inevitably bypassed them, like with a VPN or a friend's phone or a library computer. In fact, I've had just in the last 6 months, I've had more and more teens telling me that they're using VPNs to hide their porn use from their parents. So here's the thing. A better approach would be, use filters, but add a monthly ice cream history review. Once a month, you sit down with some type of a treat and you say, let's look at the report together. No shame, just curiosity. Had a dad do this with his 16-year-old son. And the first month report, it was rough. And dad just said, "Ooh, that's a lot. What do you think was going on that week?" And they discovered that binges tended to happen after conflicts with friends. And 6 months later, the report was almost clean. And they still do the treat night, but now they talk about college and girls instead of porn. So teach the pause question. Before I click, do I want my brain to remember this tomorrow? And that single internal question practiced out loud with you becomes the muscle they use at 1 a.m. in a dorm room 5 years from now. Mistake number 4, discovery leads to explosion, which leads to a phone smashed against the wall, which means grounded until age 27. I get the panic, I do, but punishment drives the addiction underground and it destroys the relationship. The one thing that actually predicts recovery is Columbia University's National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse concluded harsh punishment, or let me rephrase that, harsh punitive parenting doubles the risk of compulsive behavior in every category: drugs, alcohol, and yes, pornography. Real story here. I had a dad bring in his 17-year-old son. I will call him Ethan. After catching him with porn for the 3rd time, and dad's previous responses, one had been a 2-month phone confiscation and a daily lecture. And Ethan had 4 secret devices by then. So this time dad tried something different. He took a breath, said, "Look, I'm not mad. I am heartbroken because I know what this is stealing from you. Can we figure this out together?" And in therapy, we help create a 90-day reset. So, which included Covenant Eyes with his dad as his accountability partner, included weekly therapy and check-ins with a therapist, replacing late night scrolling with jujitsu class. And I had his dad and him tap into the recovery toolbox for teens using the Breaking Free workbook and the parent guide and the 101 tips for quitting porn. And here's the good news. Ethan just finished his freshman year of college, porn free, and texts his dad pretty much every day. So here's the deal. Grace plus collaboration beats shame, and force 100 times out of 100. And parents, final mistake, the credibility killer, the do as I say, not as I do. If you as a parent, if you're doom scrolling Twitter at the dinner table, if you're answering work emails at 10 p.m. or you're watching Netflix in bed with the door cracked, your teen is taking notes. Back to that 2024 Common Sense Media study, found teens whose parents model healthy boundaries have a 43% lower rate of screen addiction themselves. And so the fixes that actually work would be things like, number one, your phone goes into a kitchen basket at 8:30 p.m., just like the teens does. Two, putting covenant eyes on your phone and giving your spouse or a friend the reports. So this is demonstrating that you're leading by example. Three, start a family ritual like a tech-free Tuesday dinner or a screen-free Saturday morning, pancakes and board games. One mom I know had started a digital detox date night with her 16-year-old son. No phones, just ice cream and talking. And during the initial stages of that, he disclosed an ongoing 2-year struggle with porn, and that date night actually saved their relationship because it was able to begin an all-important dialogue and a recovery for him. Well, parents, let's do a quick recap of the 5 mistakes. 1 is fuzzy or non-existent boundaries. 2, never talking about pornography, and shame ends up winning there. 3, relying on filters only with zero heart work. Number 4, focus on punishment over partnership. And number 5, hypocritical modeling. Parents, pick one to start this week. Maybe tonight you text your teen, hey, ice cream tomorrow. Want to make some new phone rules together. No judgment. Just want us both to feel good. So parents, I want to give you some resources here. So mentioned the recovery toolbox for teens, which includes the Breaking Free Workbook, Breaking Free Parent Guide, and the 101 Tips for Quitting Porn. You can pick this up at the therapyassociates.net website. So you go to that website, therapyassociates.net. There's a bookstore in the menu. Click into the bookstore, and the recovery toolbox for teens is the blue version. There's a brown version, which is for adults. It's the adult version. You want the blue version. And this is a package of 3 really great resources to help structure a recovery that provides you as a parent as well as your teen with a structured guide for achieving a recovery. So second, just want to remind you of our outpatient teen recovery group we run. If you're in Southern Utah, come into the office for that. And if you are outside of the area, then you can tap in with telehealth. We run the group Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And then finally, STAR guides. So for severe cases where safety or mental health is at risk involving any type of sexual acting out or dangerous online risky behaviors online, pervasive mental health issues, depression, anxiety, suicidality, self-harm, or in cases where your teen has tried outpatient and has failed, or if you as a parent have lost your influence, if your teen is no longer responsive to your influence in their life, then maybe Star Guides is going to be the next step for you. So check out starguides.net, learn about that program. Parents, I hope this was helpful. And if it even helped a little, I want you to do 3 quick things. So 1, forward this episode to another parent who may be struggling with this. Second, leave a rating or review. It's how other parents who need this can find us. And then 3, subscribe. Subscribe for future tips, strategies, research, support for helping your teen to overcome pornography addiction. You're not failing, you're fighting, and so is your teen. And they are so lucky to have you. You're here listening today. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.